This video is about the solutions to a problem. The problem is dealing with today's toilet paper not fitting into old toilet paper roll holders, and the solutions are making cheap adapters that are reusable. Toilet roll tube adapters are either going to be the 4-vein variety, 2-vein variety, or depending upon what size toilet paper you typically buy, also just using pipe insulation foam that's been cut out and taped. The general idea is I want to get this 1-inch spindle resting sort of in the center of this 1.5-inch ID toilet paper roll. And there are a couple of ways of doing this without adding a lot of weight to the spindle or the toilet paper roll. And one solution is get some pipe foam insulation that you have around. Check to see that it fits into the toilet paper tube easily. Alright. And then just hollow it out the inside so that it'll fit over the spindle. Alright, so here's the foam, annular ring over the spindle, and it will fit into the tube easily. And let's mount that fresh roll of the more expensive stuff. So, alright, this guy goes there, okay, and now you can see spins easily for the more expensive stuff that we have. And for the cheap mega roll, the problem is now it's centered and it's wedged in there. Alright, so solution is either to take down the roll, take the toilet paper off the roll and use it before putting it in the holder, or let's make something that's a little bit more forgiving. So foam annular ring, this is one solution with some limitations. So here we have our more expensive roll, the softer stuff. Alright, that naturally will fit, turn. Okay, and it's somewhat, I mean, it has a little spring, but you can see you got plenty of clearance. Okay. For the other roll, that's a little bit bigger outside diameter. The bigger roll, alright, actually the spring characteristic of the adapter allows it to actually fit in there when it's in the too big mode, and then eventually it'll get into its centering configuration. So let me show you how I put together one of these springy adapters out of old toilet paper rolls. Okay, so this is our 2-wing adapter. This inner diameter is about a little over 1 inch, so it'll fit the spindle. It's made out of 2 used toilet paper roll tubes that have been sliced, cut with scissors, and then also reduced in length about 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch. And then what you do is you measure in about 1 1/4 inches, and this is going to be where it's going to be glued. So these 2 pieces are going to be glued like so. Alright, and then we'll take a look. There's another gluing that'll take place tomorrow. And to hold them together, I just used a couple of clothespins. And so here I have the 2 modified toilet paper rolls sliced and glued together. Alright, so this is going to be the the first step. Right? And so this length here is about 1 1/4 inches. Right? So as the next day, the glue has dried. We take off the paper clothesline clips. Alright, and you can see how the glue has joined the two pieces of the old toilet paper rolls. And then the idea is, alright, to curl this guy and then glue and clip it so that this is going to be the new tube for the spindle to fit in. And so then we're going to, before gluing it up, make sure you test it to see that the spindle fits. As an aid, what I like to do is I like to hold it with my fingers, make sure that the spindle fits loosely, and then make a mark with a pencil, so that way when I glue it and clamp it with the clothespins for the second day, I'm not going to make the inside diameter too big, or too small. I'm not going to make it, well, I'm going to make it about right. With my original two-winged adapter, I'm going to try an experiment. So I've taken a used toilet paper roll like this, and trimmed it in length, and then cut it once, and then I folded it over. Alright, and I'm going to cut this in half. Alright, so it's cut in half, and what I'm going to do is glue and secure it in my two-winged one to try and make it into a 4. So I'm going to glue it and then secure the glued area until it dries with paper clips. See how it works. Alright, so let me glue it up and secure it. And here's our 4-winged little adapter with the paper clips, and we'll let this dry at the same time. Alright. We'll see how well this works. The nice advantage of using paper clips to secure it is that you can test it to see if the toilet roll holder spindle will actually fit. Alright, so you can see, okay, so it'll fit. A cute little quality control technique trick. And here we have our 2-vaned adapter. Take the paper clips off, the clothesline clips off. Here we have our 4-vaned one. Alright, take the paper clips out. Sorry for the delay here. Alright, so the 4-vaned one, the spindle fits in there, and how it fits in a tube is you just sort of gently compress it, and this would obviously have your toilet paper roll, and you slide it in, and then you can slide in your, and then when it comes time to put it in a new roll, you just take it out. Alright, and if per chance it gets tossed out, well, it's easy enough to make another one. 2-vaned one is like this, same sort of idea. So, let's go test it with our mega rolls of toilet paper. And as for what kind of glue, well, I tend to go through a lot of woodworking projects, so a gallon of your like in this case Type Bond 3, it'll last me about 5 years, 10 years. Alright, now it's a little hard to get the glue out of a gallon jug, so typically what I use is I reuse a dispenser, and then the problem is that the glue hardens up on here, so it's impossible to, with normal strength, to get that dispenser tip off, and so what I use is the pliers and just use it as leverage, and then the dried glue I can actually take off. And so that's a little glue trick that I use. And then after getting that chunk of dried glue off of the tip of the dispenser, moving the dispenser tip up or down is then reasonable for a human being. So this is the toilet paper holder that's built into the wall, 80 years old, and I'm going to try a couple of different size toilet paper rolls. Alright, the smaller one is from a 12-pack, and then the bigger one is from it's one of these mega size rolls. And let's be brave and go with the mega size roll. And so to stick the two-vein adapter in, is just sort of compress it, stick it in there, alright, and then we're going to go with the spindle in there, and let's see if it fits. Alright, well, it's a little tight, but after a couple of uses it'll be okay, I think. Alright, let's try it with the roll from the 12-pack. Alright, so stick our adapter in there, stick our spindle in the adapter, stick this baby in there, and see, okay, that turns nicely. Alright, and let's try the 4-veined version. So here we have our 4-veins version. It goes into the roll from the 12-pack. It goes in there. Right, spindle and the adapter. Okay. Again, turns okay. And if I put the 4-veined version in the mega roll, it's a little tight initially, but still, it's okay. Alright, so I think I'm going to stick with the 4-vein version, mega roll, and we use it for guests anyway. So there are some options for if your toilet paper holder offends thee.